And hi again, Mark.
Hi.
We're on air,
Yep.
and we're still on that same day when we're doing those sections. We're recording. I know they're going to be released at different times, but
Hmm.
um, grateful to people still watching us. I'm sure they're getting a lot of information. Really, really grateful to you for being so generous, so open, and give us so much information and details on everything so far that we've asked you and beyond. But on this section, I would really like to talk to you about continuous professional development and what part uh, this CPDs will play in the system that you're trying to create. So will the CPD be mandatory under a dynamic purchasing system?
We're not sure yet. I've got a conversation this afternoon. That's not when it goes out, but this
No,
afternoon in
exactly.
real time, I've got a conversation with a number of people about what do we do about continuous professional development. I have to keep CPD to be chartered as a manager. I believe in it. I think it's very important that interpreters keep up to date with what's going on, legislation, changes in practices, or for those that haven't done police work for a while, just to remind themselves of what needs to be done. It's very easy to become rusty if you work in an area where you don't get used much in police work. There's always changes to legislation and practices, so it's always good to have CPD. And I've been involved in and sat in on a number of training sessions that you've provided at the AIT that I think are really useful. I think some of them go into really great depth, and I don't know if that's relevant for interpreters, but if interpreters want to have that level of depth, then I would never say no to it. So I think there's a great pool of resources out there that we could be using. Whether it's going to be mandated, I don't know. And then you then have to look at, do we have someone or an organization that authorizes that CPD? Because if when I did my event for you on the 1st of July, everyone got a certificate who attended saying, well, they've had CPD. And I agree with that. I think that everyone listened to what's happening with the new police DPS and therefore deserves to get a certificate that they can use. So it's in the difficult tray. It's not in the too difficult tray, but it's in a difficult tray at the moment. And we are working furiously to define what that's going to look like. And organisations like AIT will be involved in that discussion. I want to know what your views are from your members. Do members want CPD? I know most do want it. Do you want it mandated? How does that affect you if you're ill for 6 months? How do you still get the number of hours that you need in a year? Someone suggested to me that some of those should be certified and you get points for it, and then others are just generic, because there's a great presentation that Mike Orlov is about to do, but by the time you listen to this, he's already done it, on being self-employed and how to manage your finances and expenses and things like that. That for me is CPD, but it's not police interpreter CPD. So again, as usual, Arena, I've given a really long answer. Yes, I think we probably will mandate some form of CPD, number of hours a year, but we might break it up into certified, that is authorized by an organization of some sort that says, yeah, that's approved, and others that you're allowed to do that's generic, that helps you to be a better interpreter. And if your finances are sorted and your taxes are sorted, you've got less to worry about. It makes you a better interpreter, I'm sure, because you've got less to worry about. Payment is another really big issue. I hope to have a budget next year for training where I will be able to pay, and all those that are our police approved interpreters will be able to get on that for free. If I have to pay for someone to deliver that training, we'll try and use police wherever possible. Then if I can get that done for free, I will. But I don't want to charge interpreters for things like what we're doing now. I get paid to be the police national contract manager, and I see talking to you as part of that, liaising with you and informing all your interpreters and translators. I see that as part of my job, therefore I would never charge you for it. I know there are other speakers who do need to make money out of it. So we'll try and make as much of the CPD free. There are organisations out there, training organisations, that are working on training packages that you will pay for. I can't do anything about that. You are welcome to do that kind of work. Also, I know that there's an upkeep, even for you, Irina, with the AIT, there is an upkeep, there is a cost to you putting on presentations, and therefore you may need to recoup those costs. I'll try and do as much as I can for free, but I'm not the subject expert on everything, and I'll try and source the people for you. A really long answer. CPD is so important to us in the police, we all have to do it, and it's important to us that interpreters are at the very top of their game. So as soon as I have definitive answers, I'll come back to you. We'll do another presentation and we'll give you all that information, but you will be involved in the discussions prior to that. So we'll get your views.
Thank you, Mark, very much. Well, obviously, some of my questions that I was going to put to you, I already know the answer to.
Sorry.
Because you don't know yet. You know, my next question was how many, you know, if it is mandatory, then how many hours and how many points you're going to get for each CPD? How will these points calculated? Who will run CPDs and who will pay? But although you have covered who will pay, you know, you said that partially, you know, if you've got a budget, you will try to help, try to assist with it. But I think other questions, if I'm correct from what I've heard so far, that's something still work in progress, and you perhaps do not have the answers right away. But if you do, perhaps you can give us a little preview of what your intentions are or ideas. How do you think that's gonna run?
Yeah, and we'll come back to you just as soon as we've got answers. As I said, I've got a presentation this afternoon. We're trying to shape it all as quickly as possible. So once we have answers, I'll come straight back to you.
Well, okay, and that on that point, I suppose then we will break up from this section, and hopefully we will come back again for the interview. And I'm really hoping that next time we meet, we will be able to see each other.
Yeah.
You
know, nice
if the lockdown is lifted by December, maybe we'll be sitting by the Christmas tree and recording a couple more sections that I'd like to talk to you about. But on this note, I'm just all that left to say, thank you so much again for your time. You know, all I can say, you work really hard. You're always prepared. You always make time for everyone. I know you're very active now on social media as well. You always reply to everybody, email, text messages, LinkedIn messages. So thank you for all your hard work, and thank you for your time today.
You're very kind. Thank you.
Have a
We'll
lovely
do this
day.
again very soon.
See you again. Bye.